SoFloRadio.com and SoFloTelevision.com. Since the dawn of civilization, the elusive quest in pursuit of the perfect drink continues to evolve. Now more than ever, we reap the rewards of this passion. The perfect vintage, the finest brew, or a spirit of optimum age in class. And now, SoFloRadio.com invites you to discover the wonderful world of booze by the glass.
Hey everybody, how's it going out there tonight? This is By the Glass, show about beverage culture, and I'm welcoming you to explore a wonderful good time and checking out all the great things that the beverage world has to offer. Very interesting tonight, one of the first times ever I'm starting the show, and I have not heard from my guests, nor are they possibly even coming, because it's a torrential freaking downpour out there.
All of a sudden,
it's like a hurricane.
It's unbelievable. Let me definitely welcome Jason back to the show. Haven't seen you in a while, brother. How you been?
Yeah. I
Working hard? I hope
Yep,
you're rich.
absolutely been
Son of
working
a
hard.
Bitch. Can't
I'm
even
getting
show
there.
up. Doesn't care about us.
Yeah.
No.
Right? It's all he cares about his money.
Work first.
right?
Freaking money bags over here. Yeah, work all day long. Yeah. Of
I
course
haven't quit drinking, though. I drink every week.
Good. All right. I still love you.
Right along with
for
the
that
show.
fact alone. I haven't been on the board over here. He's gonna
Thank
crazy.
you. Thank you
You
so
know
much.
what? He's definitely gonna. What are we gonna do tonight, Dio?
Drink.
Drink? Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
I think we should celebrate that I'm single.
Yeah,
I've been
all
doing
right.
that. Tuesday, right after divorce court, a friend of mine, a female friend of mine, took me out to Red Lobster. I let her pick, but
Was
she
she
bought
African American?
me no
Oh,
Irish, which is
okay.
close. And so,
It's like Red Lobster.
but I had my first meal and my first drink as a single guy again, and it was a Jameson's whiskey.
Oh, you're
So,
single?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
you
I'm
didn't
single
say.
now. Yeah, there. I'm
Okay.
single. I'm single and
cool.
broke.
Let's
This is
turn
great.
the
This is-
ringer off.
Everybody keep talking because they're gonna call. They're calling in right here. Okay.
All right, so
No,
the
good
first thing
talking.
that comes up with the Mount Gay rum was eggnog, but I don't think we could pull that off.
What do
Well, we
got
gotta get. We don't have any eggnog.
All right, so all right.
Listen, we got two kinds of gin over there,
All right.
and
we have
and-
tonic
and
water
tonic
and grenadine and Diet Coke
we have more than that, don't we?
and water.
What brand gin?
And beer. We have Tanqueray and the other one, Seagram's.
Seagrams. So
Industrial.
yeah, so you can also
extra-
have
extra
ginger ale
factory
with your gin.
Yeah, if we want
All
to.
right, we can make a Sweet Becky,
What's that?
grenadine, lemon lime soda, and Seagram's.
I know
Okay,
it.
well, substitute lemon lime soda for tonic water, and here we go.
There you go.
I know a Sweet Becky.
We could send Dio to the vending
That was, matter of
machine.
fact, that was my second friend, and just well, I do mean just friends. Later that night, I got more whiskey and steak this time, so I had people buying me congratulatory meals, and I want to thank them. I'll
right.
be talking more about it on the show tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Don't forget to tune into the George Rodriguez show, 12 to 3 tomorrow, with our special guest. Did I say lust?
Oh, what's on
Sorry,
your
so-
mind?
Special guest Lisa Correo, the
Special
beautiful
lust.
and funny. What a wonderful combination. She's
Fantastic.
She's very, very
a
funny.
beautiful stand-up comedian.
Guess who that was on the phone?
Who's that?
Guess.
DJ Noel.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're,
okay.
They're gonna be walking in any minute. So.
Okay.
Excellent with whiskey, so we don't have to shake up the.
No, but they
the
might.
Seagrams?
We might be able to,
Well,
use
we're
that
about
down
to
the
make
road.
a Sweet
All
Becky.
right.
Oh,
Wait,
really?
Sweet.
We were gonna make
sweet
Do we have
Becky.
ice? Do you have to shake it
I
up?
have ice.
Wow, that's crazy.
Are we shaking it? Is that something?
Yeah, go ahead and make it. Tell me a little bit about it.
make
Jay.
it and
All
shake
right,
it.
hold on, I gotta
While
pull it
Dio
over
gets it. Go get.
Oh, now I gotta pull
take
it
that
back?
with you to put ice in it.
Well, I
All
was
right,
looking,
folks.
looking for a different.
So thank you so much for bearing with us here. It's pretty cool actually because we can just kind of always go off on a tangent and find something fun and interesting. Welcome to By the
Yes, we
Glass,
can.
show about
Why,
beverage
thank you.
culture.
You're welcoming me.
Oh, we're
Yeah,
gonna make
absolutely.
a Sweet Becky here coming up. It's got gin, lime soda, and grenadine.
Okay,
We
so we
don't
got
have
all
lime
that stuff.
soda.
We don't have lime
Absolutely.
soda, but we have gin,
have
We got something close
tonic
enough.
water.
soda. But you know what? We could always substitute lime for something else.
Hey Dio, I want the diet tonic.
But the
I can't
actually,
hear you. Hey, we got guest Dio.
Never mind. We got
guests
the
are here?
guest.
All right, fantastic.
Excellent. All right,
Great.
put the Schweppes away.
Put the Schweppes away. You want
Yeah.
to take a quick
still-
break
I
and come
still
back
wanna
with an
drink.
intro, or you want to?
No, man, this is all spontaneous.
Okay,
Just,
great.
they need to come in here though.
Yeah, no, they'll come
Dio, you're not doing your
They
job.
gotta go get the booze.
Oh, okay.
That's all right. So tell me a little bit.
Yeah.
What makes you talk? Yeah, okay. So what makes us want to do a Sweet Becky here? And how did you
Because we have the
They
ingredients.
have the ingredients, yeah.
Well, that's good. That's always a big plus.
I figured if we had to, we could run up to the vending machine and get a Sprite. if we
Oh, that
had to.
always works too.
But, I think
You know,
Dio
that's
just left.
interesting that you talk about tonic water. And, the funny thing is that quinine
Oh,
is a very interesting
I
drug. Did you know
cannot
that,
drink
did you,
that.
did you know that you need a prescription for quinine?
I did not know that.
It's actually dispersed throughout and distributed legally through tonic water. But if you were going to go in to buy it as an actual powder, you would need a prescription for it.
Isn't it fluorescent?
No, but what it does is it creates a problem. You know what it's really for? Is for restless leg syndrome.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I tried
absolutely.
that. I have that.
Seriously,
I'm gonna try it.
seriously, if you drink tonic water by itself, then it'll help you with your restless leg syndrome. For some reason, what the quinine does, similar to what aspirin does, how it thins the blood and stops headaches.
Okay.
And then what ibuprofen is anti-inflammatory, that type of thing. Quinine is really a form of that, to where it actually will thin your blood and stop the nerve endings from spasming. Fast twitch, the big
Well,
muscle
I'm not a
nerve
big
endings.
fan of gin or tonic, so
I am.
anxious to see what this.
I love gin and tonic.
Me too. It's my go-to
It's
drink.
a wonderful
Yeah.
elixir.
I used to drink vodka tonics, and I just had too much vodka before. Somebody said, "Had tried gin, and it was really wonderful."
You know what?
I thought gin doesn't that taste like rubbing alcohol? But I was just too young to appreciate
But
it.
no, it's always that really wonderful lemon liminess of gin.
Yeah,
It's got a real
clean
zest.
and nice and dry, and you don't really get a
Juste de vie,
hangover. Yeah,
je ne sais quoi. Absolutely.
Je sais quoi.
Je sais
Alright?
quoi,
Yeah,
si.
oh, my daughter's
Oui,
been listening to a lot
and all
of
of
French
those.
music
Mm.
lately. Je me souviens.
Oh, really?
Yeah, oui. Comment
Je-
allez-vous?
je
Ça va?
t'aime. Je t'aime, George.
I
Je
speak
t'aime.
French to the bathroom attendants at the clubs. and
Really?
bars. Yeah, well, they're all
Je me
Haitian.
souviens. I will remember a souvenir when I come back from French Canadian.
Oh boy, this
land
looks
for you.
disastrous. What are you doing there with the ice? And you're gonna shake it? You're not gonna
So anyway-
shake it with the tonic, are you? All right.
Hold on a second. Jason's over there. He's got Becky.
Yeah.
And
sweet
what's
Becky.
really cool is George has the carousel. But how did you
That's it.
ever tell me the story of how you came about that and who gave it to you and whatnot?
The girl that took me out for my first meal and drink.
Ever?
Well,
an
no, the one that I was just talking about that took me to Red Lobster.
You're kidding me.
She gave that to me.
This was before you lost everything.
Yes, she's a friend, a good friend, neighbor, and we have adventures a lot. And people thinking things. It's like people that know me or don't know me.
Should my mind go to dirty places right now?
No, I have a lot of female friends, and she's a drinking buddy. And
Great.
yeah,
Those are the best kind.
Yeah, it is great. And so when we're having issues or problems, we talk to each other. We're there for each other, that kind of thing. She's just a good friend. And when she was cleaning house and everything, and she thought I really, she wants to be a mom and a good example, and that just didn't look good in her kitchen. But she thought of a place where it would look good, and that was my crazy apartment where the
Yeah.
studio used to be, which is now Studio
Absolutely.
B. And when
Studio
we
B,
when
I
we
like
moved
that.
the official by the glass lounge over here, that had to come with.
It's an absolute perfect piece.
I like it. I hope it lasts and it doesn't break because otherwise, I mean, it is.
The interesting thing about it is it looks like it's well made. It almost looks like it was made possibly 15, 20 years ago, because anything that's made recently is just rinky-dink and crap. That looks like it's like the stainless
It
steel.
was made last year in China. I don't know. It's probably
It
gonna
looks
fall
well
apart.
made,
Don't
actually.
spin it really fast, but it does.
I wouldn't spin it at all.
You can do a game with it. You can play a game with it called
Russian
you know-
roulette?
Yeah, kinda. It's like you don't know what you want to drink, so you spin it. It might be gin. It might be the Jim Beam honey. It might be absinthe. You just
That's a
don't
great
know.
idea,
You
because
just
that's a
close
great
your eyes,
drinking game.
Spin it, and then just reach out and stop it, and then there you go. You have to drink that.
That's
Did
classic.
you put tonic water in there, Jason?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what that's
I
all
like
about.
these little cups that you have here. Are these meant
Those-
for by the glass?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I bought them
You guys
special
at home
for
can
you.
see George has like little mini styrofoam cups that keep your beer cold.
You want another story?
Yeah,
I have
absolutely.
We have
another-
chunks of
I
ice
have
in
yet
these
a-
shots.
I have yet another.
Why not? It's
female
only
friend.
a talk show.
Right. I have another. You'll notice that there's like the Maxwell House cups and things like that.
Right.
I have another female friend that does the samples, goes to places and gives out samples of things. These were what she was using to give out samples of pudding.
Oh, this is a perfect pudding
Yeah.
sample.
Yeah, well, I'm putting it in my mouth.
Oh, that's fantastic. We
Wow,
got a
look at
box
that.
and everything. That's
Sweet
beautiful.
Becky,
Here we
ain't too
go.
bad.
DJ Noel. All right, what's up? DJ Noel in the house. He's in the hizzy. Don't please.
Oh,
please
this
don't
is
apologize.
disgusting. Oh.
Is it really? We just made. What do we make?
Why is that
George?
disgusting?
What do we make? Jason made it.
It's a sweet
Dio, I think
Becky.
that you're going to win the
Yeah.
next contest.
Oh, I've just got a mouthful of phlegm now. I need a whole lot of
Oh, this
whiskey
is
to
very
wash it
good.
out of my mouth.
What's up, brother? How you
Delicious.
doing?
Yeah, what are you talking about, George?
Welcome to By the Glass. Are you going to be?
It's
Why don't you
gin
sit
and
over
tonic.
here? Absolutely. Sit down. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Talk right into the microphone. And we have the other mic for my buddy Brad, right?
Brad will be here.
Brad
in
will
a
be here,
couple
yeah.
of minutes.
You got to get
We
right
don't.
up.
We don't
in
have
there.
another
Right.
microphone.
I'm
Oh,
right
no,
up
But he
in
can.
there.
He can have mine when he shows up.
Okay, cool. Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, I could drink this all day long, George.
Oh,
You're
you can
crazy.
have my portion. That's and the non-sugar-free tonic.
Dio,
I thought it was
try
pretty
it.
damn
Have,
good,
have this
actually.
one.
What
Yeah.
are you guys drinking?
Ugh.
We made a drink.
was just
what's it called?
temporary.
Jason,
A Sweet
explain it
Becky.
to us. A Sweet Becky. What'd you put in here?
Sugar, sugar,
gin, grenadine, and
Sugar.
tonic water.
Ah,
yeah,
phlegm,
delicious. Fuck George.
syrup. Yeah, it's horrible.
met me, but
Oh, jeez, yeah. He doesn't
So-
have mono.
welcome to the show. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. Fantastic.
That's
Mr.
not terrible.
Yeah,
It's
that's
terrible.
pretty good. Huh? That's what I thought.
I don't drink sugary drinks, man.
All right, George is just a drama queen.
Oh,
Get
Yeah.
used to it.
I'm not a big fan of gin,
Well,
so it's making me.
Well, there you go.
Alchemist
All right,
now we
Distilleries.
have the real
that's
liquor.
right.
All right, guys, let's settle into our guest here. It's an absolute pleasure to have DJ Noel in the house. Now, okay, so just get it out of let's get it out on the table. Is your actual name DJ or are you DJ Noel?
You know what? That's so funny because when I first
Talking to the mic.
I'm actually from New York.
Come on, DJ, talking to the mic.
I'm actually from New York, but you
He's
know,
not
when-
MC Noel, I take it. Don't know how to talk into a mic. No, I'm just kidding.
You know, when I moved down here, Brad, who's taking care of everything for me.
Yeah.
Actually, he's like, "Oh, DJ Noel is coming down here." DJ, and he got all excited. And when I walked in the room, he was like, "Oh,
You know what's funny?
okay."
That's so classic because I have never heard of DJ Noel, but we have the music queued up and everything. George will be playing some. We were just jamming some a little bit before. Have you ever heard DJ Noel?
No,
I never
haven't-
heard it either,
I've
or
never
of it.
heard of
And,
It's
and, and
not DJ Noel. It's just Noel.
but he's a DJ. What do you call the guy?
A singer. He sings. This is a song. You know, it's freestyle.
Yeah, but this is DJ music, man. He's DJ Noel, man.
But everybody thinks that if somebody says DJ Noel, they're gonna think this guy. But
This guy, absolutely.
this
That's
is a
cool.
roller skating song. I'm gonna be listening
George's
to
a
this
big
tonight.
roller skater. Yeah, he likes
Actually, I'm a
to roller
small roller skater. Yeah, if you look at me- if you put me up against the other skaters there, I'm a little.
So very,
Much
very
shorter than
cool.
that.
So let's talk a little bit about Alchemist Distilleries. Fantastic. Opened in 2013 in Miami. Director of Sales Brad Berkman and President DJ Noel are both here, and Brad's going to be here any minute though. Talk to me a little bit about Alchemist. I mean, very interesting. First, let's start with the name. Where did you come up with that and the whole concept?
Alchemist, you know, it's turning one thing to another, and
Yeah.
plus, you know, I was a fan of the cartoon Full Metal Alchemist, so
Really?
yeah.
I'm not familiar with that either.
I am.
What am I, under a rock?
Oh, one of them's a little. One of them's a short kid, but his very little brother is a big suit of armor because things happen to him, and it's
Okay.
got to go into
That's
that in
cool.
the show.
So
and,
he
you know.
knows.
Yeah, that's
you know.
awesome. All right,
Got the
great.
law of substitution going on there, and they try to raise their mother from the dead, and just
That's
all
great.
hell broke loose, and
There's a whole bunch
yeah.
of good stuff
Sounds really
going on.
crazy.
yeah.
And is that what's going on at the distillery?
If you drink enough, that's what's happening.
Yeah, I figured as much. Now, you guys got balls, man. I got to say, I meet a lot of craft brewers. I meet people that make wine. I have not met a distiller yet, so it's an actual pleasure to have you here. I go on and on about distilling all the time from what I've read, what I've been to distilleries. You know, all the different types of products that are made. We like to talk about, you know, Scotch and whiskey and rum and how they're all very, very different and basically how they're made. And we've had many people call in, and we've tried endless product. But to have a real distiller here, someone who works in a distillery and distills, it's an absolute pleasure. I'm excited because I really want to pick your brain. And so first off, how did you get into distilling as opposed to brewing or?
I actually was a craft brewer.
Okay.
That's how, you know, I'm going to tell you what, a lot of craft brewers easily could become distillers.
Right.
It's one step away, really,
Okay.
basically.
But you know what's funny too is that I have a lot of respect for the distilling process. I've been to old New Orleans rum distillery in New Orleans. I've been to the New York distillery in New York. I've been to quite a few around the country. I've been to Jack Daniels and a few other more big conglomerate ones, and they make it look like a science. I mean, the guys like either you can whatever you want to set your temperatures at, and you can have whiskey, you can have. You can have moonshine, you can have petroleum, you can have isopropyl alcohol, you can have many different things. You got to be really careful. And, we've always talked about blind drunk. But then I see these rednecks doing it in a pit in the back of a Tennessee shack. And it's like, how freaking hard could it be? You know what I mean? So why
Don't
you shed a
underestimate those rednecks.
I know.
Man.
Well, that's
they,
the thing, too, is these are the
they
guys
might
who
look
started
kind
it
of
all.
rough, but
they have
Well,
their
that's the thing.
knowledge,
That's
you
why
know?
that's why you're here to maybe shed a little light on the
You
subject.
know what? The difference with them and basically what I do is probably my distillery is
Taxes.
cleaner and taxes. You got it.
Right.
Because there's one thing, if you know anything about craft brewing, is you got to keep everything clean.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, those guys in the hills, they
You
use
do
that.
dig a pit.
Yeah.
They always start off with a pit in the backyard, and the guy's like, "It ain't deep enough. Well, how are we gonna get a lot of that? I don't know. What do you want? Maybe you picked up that shovel and worked a little harder."
it'll come
You know
out
what I mean?
clean. Don't you worry.
George has said that before.
just gonna say that.
Maron over here. So cleanliness is next to godliness. This we know. Fantastic. How about okay? So let's get a little bit into product because these guys want to drink. So
Yeah.
I know that we have 2 whiskeys here tonight. Now your whiskeys are both what I like to call eau de vie. They're natural, neutral distilled spirits. And then have they been aged in wood at all? I mean,
Is it
talk to
raining
me a
that
little
hard
bit
out there?
about clear liquid and aged liquid and all those things.
That's a great question because we've come out with 2 white whiskeys. So we've
Right.
come out with a 100% wheat whiskey and a 100% rye whiskey.
okay.
And
White Dog, man?
No, well, you're going to consider them both White Dog no matter what because
Just because we had a product that possibly would be similar to this, that was called Ghost. Have you seen that? The Ghost?
I know Ghost.
Is that somewhat?
Well, Ghost is a 100% or close to 100% rye whiskey.
Oh, it's 100% rye. So let's get into, basically there's your mash bill. When we talk about it, it's similar to brewing beer. We have different grains that we use. It doesn't have to be grains now. Of course, bourbon can be. Yeah, absolutely. Of course, bourbon can be up to 51% corn and should be. Corn is a nice adjunct to
Oh,
use.
he's got little shot glasses.
To get very high fermentable sugars because when you're distilling, you want a lot of, alcohol. You want to create alcohol that you can then distill, correct?
Definitely.
So then,
I'll take a double.
But then when you talk about the White Dog being as a rye, I didn't taste it being that peppery. It was a little. I thought it was sweet.
So I guessed this one as soon as I smelled it. I was like, "This is the rye." And
Okay,
I saw
because-
him lift up the bottle, and I was like,
Okay,
"I'm
because
right."
you smell the
I s-
pepper
yeah, I
and the
don't know, I
spice.
just- I smell rye, a little bit of rye in there.
It's very nice.
And I'm gonna tell you what, I've been actually an educator actually since I've gotten down here and I've started. People will walk by and they see whiskey and it's clear, and I'm like, everything that comes off the still is white.
Yeah.
Right.
Whether it be brandy, rum, whiskey, everything that comes off the still is white.
Even
until
George,
it's-
when he comes off a still
Yeah.
in the morning, he's
Or
usually
white
like,
as a ghost.
about ready to die. Yeah.
I gotta age in an oak barrel to get this color.
He's like a vampire. You gotta sleep with that fucker.
You're not even drunk yet, and you're cursing. That's 2. That's 2 in this
gotta
show
be
already.
unique.
It's only
Did I curse
17 minutes
twice?
in. No, Jason got one.
Oh,
I'm
did
keeping
he?
score
Okay. Yeah,
for the swear jar afterwards.
Here's the thing, I always try to practice not cursing in case we ever get on the real
we should
radio
get a
one
swear
day.
jar. A Sofa Radio swear jar right here in
I'm
the
just
middle.
kidding. I'm just messing with
somebody will be rich.
it. Yeah, but
I mean, we'll give the money to Jesus.
this is fantastic though. Talk to me. I'm sorry to
Oh, it's
interrupt.
delicious.
Oh, no problem. As you can tell, the rye is a peppery, spicy type of.
It's got such a wonderful, natural, like really distinct aroma that you can't get from the more industrial type of production. Now, talk to me about the heads and tails and the perfect devil's cut and all that stuff.
Well, as you guys probably know, there's 3 parts of distilling. There's the heads, the hearts, and the tails. The
Right.
heads is the nail polish remover. You don't
Now,
want to drink
does
that.
that float to the top kind of like cream and milk?
That's probably it's just the first thing that comes off the still.
Okay.
So-
Okay, so that's all chemistry.
Yeah.
Do you have a chemistry background?
Yes, I
Can
do.
you make me some meth, please?
Our LSD.
I'm just gonna get it out in the open.
You want to go Breaking Bad up
ecstasy.
in here, huh?
So you really,
I'm just kidding.
it's
Okay,
really
so,
hard to find good ecstasy anymore.
so why is it the first thing that comes out? I always wondered. These are the things I want to know. I'm so excited. How exactly is it the first thing that comes out? Why does that get produced first? Is that the way the sugars are?
That is just when you're fermenting,
Right.
And as these things ferment and they come off the still, that is just the first product that comes out of the still when you're distilling alcohol.
Okay.
The acetone and those things are the first products.
So
that
maybe
come
they're
out.
the
They
lightest
have-
or the most the
they
ones.
have a higher.
They burn off
temperature.
right.
Yeah.
They're
A
more
lower
volatile
temperature.
ester rate. They burn off at a different temperature.
You explained it much better than I
Okay,
did.
great. They burn off at different temperatures.
I got A's in chemistry.
I got you.
Not meth level, but
Well, what's interesting about it is it's very similar to petroleum distillates because you have crude oil and you take crude oil out of the ground and then what do? It's the guys that distill the oil,
distill it,
oil
yeah.
distilleries that make gasoline. Now the difference between
make all kinds of
diesel
stuff, actually.
fuel and the difference between gasoline is usually about $20 a bag. No, I'm just kidding. But honestly, it's really the rate at which you at the temperature at which you distill it. Correct? So
Yes.
yeah. And that's the difference. It's really the higher fumes, the more refined aspect of it. So the most refined stuff is going to kill you coming off the top.
Definitely.
Okay.
And that's what's going to make you blind also.
That'll
How
make
do you
blind.
tell when you're over that part?
Well, as a distiller, I do it just by taste and smell. A lot of these major distilleries, they'll have their equipment and they'll
Chemical
just
analyzer.
exactly. So basically I know
When doing a moonshine.
So
way.
that's dangerous, though, isn't it?
not really, because I send it to a
Is that
lab
why
also to
is that
get
why your
analyzed.
right eye twitches?
No.
now you're just doing a little shot, so it's not gonna kill you if you drink like a tiny little thing.
How
But
much
I would
do you have to
imagine you
drink?
just stick your pinky in there and go.
Oh
"Ooh."
yeah, I'm tasting that stuff all day, but
Right.
you gotta
Can I
know how to
drink
get rid
until
of
I need glasses and just stop right there?
it. Then you'll know you're wrong, you know.
And they say that about masturbation. You know, you'll go blind. And, like
I'm still trying to prove them wrong.
that's wrong. It's totally. I'm 48 and I still don't need glasses, so you know, that's it. That's this show. This is good.
No,
This
it's
is amazing
delicious,
stuff.
I can't wait to compare this to all of the others.
It doesn't taste like it smells, though, does it? To you?
No, it's interesting.
Are we still talking about whiskey?
No, but that, that was a pretty good one, George. That's the beauty of it. I can't even. That's the beauty of this. This is amazing. Okay, I get actual like graininess. I get the actual the smell of the bready. I get bready,
get
grainy
bread, yeah.
of the
Yeah.
grain of
Some-
on the nose.
Almost pumpernickel.
And it's amazing. It is pumpernickel because those sweetness comes through. It's beautiful. And then when you taste it, it's a little drier. It's more like a pepper or biting into a caraway seed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait till you taste the wheat. It's completely different. Everybody will say, "Oh, how much different can they be?" But you're really gonna taste the grain in the wheat.
So you make a wheat whiskey too?
We do a 100% wheat whiskey also, and obviously this is non-Florida
Talk
grains.
to me about your mash for the wheat whiskey. Mashing just full wheat like that must be a problem because barley and mash are very different. It's unhusked.
I'm gonna tell you what.
It's just.
Wheat was simple.
Oh, it was.
Oh yeah, the rye was a nightmare.
Okay, so the rye people would think it would be easier because it has a really hard little shell, and for the lautering for draining off
The,
of
the rye is a nightmare because when I first started mashing in rye,
Right.
I pumped my chest up because I was so proud that I did wheat all those months.
Yeah.
And then I started rye out, and I put it in mash. I came back the next day, and all I hear is clap, 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 clap. Turn on the light, and the mash is all over the distillery floor.
What happened? It went through the grain.
It's
went
just
through the grid?
it's just a
lauter
a
grid?
foamer.
Oh,
Yeah, and
really?
and I really didn't get that because I was a brewer by that. I never really worked with rye, and then as you get to learn, rye
Let me
is
ask
a
you
monster.
a question. You leave your mash overnight. Is that a sour mashing technique?
No, that's not
Oh.
it. We do a clean mash build, so
Oh.
yeah, it's every mash is unique in itself. Every batch is one by one.
Oh, mash the mash classic, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great. Hey, guys, welcome to By the Glass, the show about beverage culture and every stupid pun you could ever imagine. Yes, we've used sex, drugs, and we're about to use rock and roll. Well, if you consider this song rock and roll.
No, I don't. This is music to slash your wrist by. Literally. It's called Suicide
Literally.
is Painless, and that's what they were playing when the guy was going to commit suicide in the movie. Okay,
So,
thank you.
this is the wheat, huh?
This is the wheat, and you're gonna see it's completely different.
This is amazing. So,
Yeah,
It is
definitely
very different.
Lighter smell. Lighter smell.
A little
for sure.
warmer.
I like
Little
this one. This one
I
seems
like this.
like
This is smoother.
this one seems like a good infusion product. Like you can add do you do that?
Yeah, actually, we've got a bunch of infusions. I didn't bring them in because I thought this was gonna turn into a drunk fest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you thought right.
Yeah. Why would you think that? Have we met? I thought we knew each other.
No, but talk to me about the infusions and everything.
Right, we're gonna be doing a bunch of unique Florida infusions. Basically, that's So we're gonna be doing
Mango.
no mango. It's so funny.
Why are you
that
thinking mango, man?
We have mango trees in fucking Florida, man.
Where's the swear jar?
It's so funny.
Why not palmetto?
It's so funny that he says that
Why not
because
papaya?
I was at the Florida craft show the
Uh-huh.
other day, and there was a distributor there from Florida, and he's like, "Whatever you do, don't do a mango and dumb down Florida, please."
So talk to me about the Florida Craft
Like-
Show.
like
Is that
mango.
a craft beer or what?
It was craft beer, spirits, and like chocolate, anything
Really?
craft in Florida. It was a great show. Yeah, it was.
Man, what kind of beers were out there? Did you have any?
Oh,
beers?
there was a bunch. It was the Winwood guys were out there.
They've been on the show a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, there's
Good guys.
I forgot the other crew, but
Talk to me about where you're located in Miami.
we're located right in the Doral area.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're in the warehouse district over there.
Over
and-
by MIA Brewing. You know those guys?
Yeah, we're close, but we're right off the 58th
So
Street.
talk to me about equipment and still and stuff. I mean, when we started this show, me and George said we are going to build a still in the backyard.
Yeah.
No, it's illegal.
Here,
Even though it's illegal. Yes.
I got a German hybrid still. It's from Arnold Holstein in Germany, and it's I got 22 plate column still, and it's
so it's a column still.
it's a hybrid because it's a pot
Okay.
still, and
It's
then
a pot
and
still,
then I have a column on the
And
side.
then it's got
also.
a column. That's
Yeah.
interesting. I've seen with this New York Distillery has a similar thing. It's beautiful, and it's definitely alembic, and then it
Yeah,
goes
it's
into
exactly.
and then it
It's-
goes into the column. And then so basically, when you do it, you do a 2-wash system. You have your first what you distill first is called your
The first stripping run.
the first run. What's that called?
That's the stripping run.
Stripping run?
Yeah, that's the. But with whiskey,
I'm
I only
surprised
do, I
George didn't make a joke on that one, geez.
I would let it too easy. Too easy.
Too
Just let
easy.
that one
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
with whiskey, you only do one run
You only do one
because
huh?
you want to keep the flavor of the
You
grain.
want to keep that flavor. That's the difference. These are the kinds of things I'm learning now.
If you do more, you're just stripping away the flavor basically. You're
Okay.
turning it into vodka.
That's why vodka's distilled
Yeah.
6 times.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
what about rum? I mean, I know that in rum. Talk to me a little bit about this. The fermentation aspects. So you take rye and you make a mash, almost a beer out of it. Where
Right.
you take it, you dip it in hot water, you extract the sugars, then you cool it down and add yeast, ferment it, and then it has alcohol. Then you warm it again to let the alcohol actually boil off, and then it condenses on a coil and you catch it. Boom. Right.
That was perfect.
Okay, so but when you have rum or tequila, is there yeast added, or does it actually ferment on its own? And how does that happen?
The difference with rum and tequila is you're using agave or you're using
The
or sugarcane
molasses
juice
or
or
sugar
molasses.
cane, yeah,
Much easier to distill or make rum and tequila than it is to make whiskey. Because
right. Because
whiskey,
you don't have to make
you
the beer.
You don't have to heat up the mash with rum.
Right.
The molasses, you're basically putting the rum, the molasses, you're putting water, pitching the yeast, and you'll
You
say
do
goodbye.
pitch yeast into
Oh,
it
definitely.
though, because I always wondered about the with the tequila, the piña. I know that they cook those a little bit
to extract the juice.
to extract the juice. Then they mash them down, and at that point is when they pitch the yeast.
The-
Once it's,
after-
once
after
the
they-
mash has been
after-
pitched. Hey,
after-
how you doing? Good. How you doing? Good. We're welcoming to the show Mr. Brad. I'm sorry, your last name, sir?
Berkman.
Mr. Brad Berkman. Welcome to By the Glass. It's an absolute pleasure. We're here with Alchemist Distillers, and fantastic. We're trying all their really wonderful stuff. These guys are distilleries out of Miami, and they started in 2013. President DJ Noel and Brad Berkman are going to are here, and they're trying their wonderful stuff with us. So that's kind of the basic difference, but there is still a yeast. Because I always heard that with some aspect of rum that it almost, if you let it sit on itself, it'll almost start to self-ferment. But I never really,
Actually, with sugarcane juice,
sugarcane juice
juice, if you don't
because the cane has the natural yeast on the
Exactly.
indigenous
And-
outside, kind of like a grape.
You said exactly. And
Okay.
if you don't get sugarcane juice with pitch the yeast and start fermenting it right away, turns into vinegar. It's useless. That's why there's not a lot of
That do pure cane juice.
exactly.
Okay, that's fantastic. Now this is amazing stuff. These guys are making whiskeys down there, and what they do is they make all these really natural eau de vies, very clear whiskeys with very distinctive flavors to them. The first one we tried is a rye. It's specific. Jason hit it right on the head. It smells like a pumpernickel bread, but it has a little bit more of a spicy pepper note to it. And then the wheat is great. The wheat is almost like a little bit of a fruitiness that you can really, as a nice base to add some wonderful
Delicious.
infusion
Yeah,
to.
they're both different, but both delicious. It's
Absolutely.
amazing.
Yeah,
Welcome, Brad. Talk to me.
Thank you. No, we like to say that the wheat whiskey has sort of a cereal quality to it, almost like a baked bread, aroma.
Perfect.
Okay.
And then a cereal quality on the palate.
Cereal. That's perfect.
Yeah, and what's great about both of the white whiskeys, in fact, is that, I think it's fairly obvious when you taste them, you can drink them neat, you can drink them straight up, rather I should say on the rocks, or you can drink them in a nice mixed cocktail. So
Yeah.
they're really versatile. And, one of the things, and I don't know whether DJ mentioned this or not, one of the things we tried to do with these two products is show consumers, show people who enjoy whiskey, what the different taste profile, is like using a very specific grain. We're only using 100% winter white wheat in the wheat whiskey and 100% rye in the rye whiskey. And other than that, the ingredients are more or less the same with the exception of the yeast, but both, rather I should say, each whiskey has very, very distinct qualities, and that's what makes them unique.
You know, I was telling DJ that we had tasted a product. The only thing I've ever tasted similar to this, and we have over 250 shows, and I've been in the business 20 years. The only thing I tasted that was similar to this, even before I tasted, was that the Ghost And
Yeah.
he said that that was a clear rye, but I think they put that just to kind of just maybe set it on wood like a reposado type of thing for a little bit, and then just put it right in the bottle.
Right.
But of course, that's a conglomerate production, and this is craft.
Right.
You know, the interesting thing about this, it's kind of like the difference between a regular beer and a craft beer, to where you don't realize how much flavor a distilled spirit can have unless you try something that's a craft spirit.
That's right. An awful lot of care, an awful lot of attention goes into the creation of these products. The micro distilled movement is very much paralleling, at least in the early, or I should say, the early days of the craft beer movement.
Right.
And what we're trying to do is, awaken consumers or drinkers' palates to
Yes.
the uniqueness of spirit. And, more and more distilleries or micro distilleries or small batch distilleries are opening up around the country. And each one really creates very unique products based upon the products available in the area and the expertise of the distiller that's creating the product.
Fantastic. We've had just a couple on. We definitely did Anchor. They have a craft distillery out in California. We tried their Junipero gin and whatnot. What are some of the other products you might be interested in doing besides whiskeys?
Well, we are actually exploring coming out with a 100% sugarcane rum, an agricole rum,
Right.
using sugarcane from Florida.
Okay.
We are experimenting with recipes to create various types of gins. We're also toying with the idea of coming out with a unique Florida vodka. But really, what we want to do, the distillery, is such a unique environment. It really is. Unlike me, which I have a radio face, the distillery itself is really, really beautiful, and the equipment there is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And we have the ability to produce nearly any kind of distilled spirit, from the distillery. So our plan really is to introduce product using indigenous, again, Florida ingredient, but sophisticated ingredient. We don't want to dumb down the consumer. We don't want to come out with like a mango vodka or a grapefruit vodka or anything like that. We want to make it a little bit more sophisticated, or rather, I should say, create a drink for the more sophisticated palate. And
I was in the New York distillery up in Greenpoint, New York, not too long ago, and I was drinking a Pink Navel gin. That was fantastic. One that you just don't find that kind of product anywhere.
Right.
Do you think that that's the type of uniqueness you're looking for, to do something that's, outlandish?
I don't think we're going to go outlandish, quite frankly. But I think we're gonna create gins perhaps with different kinds of grains.
Yeah.
Obviously, juniper and the appropriate botanicals. Right. But we recently tasted a really unique gin made out of rye. Surprisingly, yeah, really neat. So we're gonna I think be moving in that direction. The traditional gin ingredients with slightly different tweaks to the recipe.
Fantastic. So DJ's making us a wonderful drink here, folks.
I think it's better than my Sweet Becky.
I think it's probably a little bit better than your Sweet Becky. But beautiful. DJ, if you don't mind, maybe you can just tell us exactly what you're making us here. This looks fantastic.
We're making a basil lemonade right now out of the wheat whiskey.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
And these are some of the
He's a
wonderful, fresh types of flavors.
You smell the basil right off. Did you smell it?
No, absolutely. These are the wonderful, fresh types of flavors that really come out and are very distinctive. And do you have a mixology background, or how do you work with that? Do you work with mixologists, hire mixologists, that type of thing?
He is a
I used to own 2 bars in New York,
Okay.
actually.
This guy's pro.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. You have a mixology background, yeah. So, and is that what is it kind of like the cart before the horse? I mean, is it the
Oh,
is
wow.
it the mixologist that started the distiller, or did
Absolutely.
the distiller to start the mixologist?
No. It was definitely the mixologist that started the distillery. But, we're going to be trying to do
Exceptional.
really unique
Absolutely.
Florida
Delicious.
stuff. We're going to we're working with Fresh from Florida, and they're going to be getting me orange blossoms, and we're going to be doing a
There you
orange
go.
blossom product, and we're going to be doing a high citrus Florida gin with grapefruit, orange,
Are you gonna get this-
tangerine,
the
lemon,
stamp
lime.
fresh from Florida?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Perfect.
That's fantastic. This is this reminds me of walking along the beach, Florida sunshine. You got sunshine, you got that little bit of salty sea brine. You know, it's refreshing. There's a little bit of citrus in there. It kind of makes me feel like I'm in a place. You know, it's an awakening of your senses, and it's a real wonderful full flavor, but it's not overpowering with alcohol. The beauty of this is that there's not that real. What do they call the cognigers or that type of thing? Those don't really come out. They're not necessary. When I taste your product here, I don't taste all those nasty elements. You know. That like drinking Smirnoff or something.
It
You know,
coats your whole mouth with flavor.
yeah, it does, and they're just wonderful flavors. They're very light, and they're very distinctively what they're supposed to be. But there's none of the stuff that you don't want.
That sounds beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
You should be doing commercials for me.
We can.
You better
No,
be
but
careful.
it really is what it really is what it's all about here, though. So, and as far as this, you know, I think that you don't really. You were talking about infusions and that type of thing. What is this over here on the on the?
That is actually the wheat whiskey infused with basil.
Okay, so you do your own infusion and that type of thing.
We're experimenting with a bunch of stuff to decide what we're going to actually bring out in the future.
Do you have any barrels?
We do have barrels.
Yeah, talk to me about your barrel program.
We're going to be doing. We're putting the rye actually in barrels as we speak, and
First run barrels or second run?
no, these are first run barrels. Yeah,
So,
brand
but
new white
new
oak
American
barrels.
oak?
Yes, brand new white American oak, and we're going to be using those for our rye whiskey. And actually, we're already thinking about when we're done with those barrels, we're going to give them to a brewery,
Yeah.
let them age some beer in it, take those barrels back, and then do something else with those.
That's
All right,
perfect.
very good.
Yeah, so we're trying to do some unique
That's
things.
interesting. It's kind of like the other way around. Usually, the beer takes what the booze did, what the wine did before it. You know. Now, are these charred barrels or are these?
They are heavy charred barrels.
So they will give you. So this will be your first brown option.
yes.
Right. Giving
So,
all those
you
wonderful
know,
notes.
You'll see those in 2 to 3 years.
2 to 3. I was going to ask. the next
We
question.
have big barrels. We could have gone the small barrel route, and a lot of these micro distillers are doing that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we wanted to go the more traditional route and just get the big barrels. We'll wait for these things to be ready.
No, they're definitely works of art. Those barrels and the guys that make them too. It's a lost art, but it's fantastic. It's amazing how many barrels they have in Kentucky and how cheap they are for sale. If you want to use it, because they can only use them once for
They
bourbon.
got tons of trees there.
It's not the trees, bro. It's the fact that they can only use them once for bourbon, and then
Yeah,
they
but
got to get rid of them.
where do you think they get the barrels from? They cut trees down.
I understand that, Jason. Oh boy. I miss Jason. I understand that, but you got to understand that it was somebody passed a law to keep his good old buddy in business that you can only use the barrel once.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's
Get
that's
it?
the rule,
In like
yeah.
1850, or whatever that started,
But then
1780s. You know, if you only use the barrel once, that means my buddy who owns a barrel company will stay in business, and then he can pay his taxes to me because I make the laws. Get it? That's what
They
happened.
sell the barrels to other people though. After.
In this day and age, yeah. Anyway, back to this wonderful distillery. Fantastic, but no, that's an interesting. It's an interesting point that you're using new American oak.
We're
And,
going to be using used bourbon barrels for our
too,
rum.
as well. Oh,
Yeah.
great.
There you go.
Oh,
See.
Yeah, yeah.
I could use some more whatever we're drinking.
Well, this is phenomenal, guys. We have Alchemy Distilleries in here, and these guys are bringing in some amazing stuff so far. We've tried
Alchemist.
Alchemist. I'm sorry,
That's
my
okay.
bad. Alchemist Distilleries, and these guys are bringing in some amazing whiskeys. And the interesting thing about this is, I couldn't even tell. I mean, it's just so good. I mean, it's just such a unique tasting spirit that I couldn't necessarily put my finger on it. I mean, that it's whiskey. I mean, it just tastes like a really individual, unique flavor. That's what I think you were speaking into before, Brad. That when you make this drink, I mean, you could tell me that this is. I mean, I really couldn't even tell you. I mean, it's a little bit of a whiskey soury type of thing, but overall, it's just got so much diversity to it. It's very dynamic.
It is, and that's what's kind of interesting about the category in general. That is the white whiskey category.
Yeah.
It's a real versatile drink. Like I said, you can do a lot of things with it. Neat on the rocks and mixed cocktails. Mixologists at really some very, very fine restaurants. In the South Florida area and really all over the country are creating very unique signature cocktails using white whiskeys. So so we we're trying to pair up with some really nice local restaurants and trying to create some signature drinks using our white whiskeys.
Great. We're going to take a quick break, but because we always take at least one per show, just for the heck of it. But when we come back, we're going to continue on. What I want to do is I got my buddy of mine works for a Florida beer company. and he creates pilot beers for his company, and they're going to be one of the biggest breweries in the Southeast. And he gave me a beer that's a very interesting beer that I want to pull out and try. But the interesting about it's a French farmhouse style, and it has a lot of herbs in it. It's almost like it has sage and rosemary and that type of stuff in
Very
it.
interesting.
So I'm thinking, well, let's use the beer
Compliment our basil.
with one of your fine spirits.
I like
and
the
then
way
we'll
that
have
sounds.
DJ Noel do his mixologist craziness, and we'll use the beer in a cocktail. We'll make some crazy beer cocktail with it. What do you
I
think?
love it. Great.
Sounds fun?
Sounds great.
We'll do all that and more when we come back on By the Glass Show on SoFloRadio.com.
Put a team of professional consultants behind your home or business computer with Key Information Solutions, providing solutions to your internet and computing needs while keeping you on the cutting edge of technology. Preventative maintenance and networking support, hardware and custom-built computers. Let Key Information Solutions be your personal tech staff for your home or office with affordable hourly, monthly, or annual rates to fit anyone's budget. Call Key Information Solutions now. 954-973-3374. That's 954-973-3374. Or visit keyinformation.com.
When you're ready to actually lose weight safely and steadily while being monitored by a physician, the Weight Loss Clinic of Dr. Kim Jacobson is there for you. The family medicine practice was established by her father in 1956 and continues as a medical practice that now specializes in weight reduction. Dr. Kim Jacobson joined the practice 20 years ago as both a family medicine practitioner and weight loss specialist. The Weight Loss Clinic utilizes a combination of appetite suppression medication and vitamins to produce great results, usually 3 to 4 pounds per week for most patients. Now you can change your lifestyle while still enjoying your own food, just less of it. They offer a choice of 2, 3, or 4-week plans. So whether you just need to lose a few pounds or a lot, the Weight Loss Clinic of Dr. Kim Jacobson can help you. They're located at 5454 Northeast 4th Avenue in Miami, just 2 blocks west of 54th Street and Biscayne Boulevard. Call them at 305-751-0091. They'll be happy to answer any and all of your questions. That's 305-751-0091. Get started on a beautiful new body today with Dr. Kim Jacobson and the Weight Loss Clinic.
CBC5 is the executive liaison for all your building compliance needs. Serving South Florida from the Palm Beaches to Key West, CBC5 delivers 5-star service that brings you...
What's this ABC or BDQ or whatever?
CBC5. It stands for Complete Building Compliance.
Oh, I ain't building nothing, so what can they do for me?
Well, they do more than plan review and permitting. They help the little guy cut through red tape.
I got duct tape holding together my carport.
Well, CBC5 can help. Let them deal with bureaucrats. They helped George Rodriguez solve a sewer lateral problem, and they saved him a ton of money and hassles.
Fight City Hall, who can do that?
CBC5 can do that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a commercial to finish. Contact Shoddy the Hottie at CBC5 786-255-3851 or log on to cbc5.net. That's cbc5.net.
This is John Etch in the Sports Heads.
Well, somebody told Wesley Snipes that it was unconstitutional to pay taxes.
Oh my God.
That, they can't charge taxes. It's not in the Constitution. So he's like, hey man, it's not in the Constitution. Yeah, but it's a law. So now you're going to jail. Thank you for admitting it, by the way.
Put yourself in these guys' shoes. You get a check for $3 million.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to claim taxes on them?
Yeah, I am. You know what?
Tuesday 7 to 9, Thursday 8 to 10.
John Edge and the Sports Heads.
On SoFloRadio.com.
And now we return you to By the Glass.
Okay, welcome back to By the Glass Show. 3 young ladies drinking whiskey before breakfast. That's awesome. So fantastic. DJ, what'd you put in front of me here? We have a nice concoction.
That is a wheat whiskey Bay Breeze.
Wow, this is amazing. The smell. Once again, it's just absolutely delicious. So full of flavor. There's such a very distinct signature to the drinks that are just... It's right in the middle. You taste
very refreshing.
You taste the spirits.
Yeah.
Nothing cloying. Never had a Bay Breeze in my life that wasn't extremely cloying and syrupy and disgusting except for this one. This one is just like I don't even know what you put in there, but it's
Refreshing.
light and airy, refreshing, and so drinkable. It's kind of like, when we talk about craft and we talk about the craft concept, we talk about where is the craft going. I know with craft beer, people are getting away from big 8-10% beers that are IPAs, double IPAs, and they're making beers that are 4 and 5%, but with all the flavor of that double IPA. This drink gives me all the flavor of that big sugar-laden, orange juice-laden, let's kill the flavor of the alcohol with orange juice and cranberry juice. This is like a refreshing, light drink where it's mostly the spirit, but what I taste is flavor that just comes from the mixologist's hand.
And let me tell you what, there's the difference between craft and like some of these other guys is, like with my whiskeys, I'm not going to be doing any charcoal filtering.
Oh, okay.
Because I want you to be able to taste the grain. Because if you do charcoal filtering, what's the point?
What's the point?
Yeah, so I want everything that I make for you to be able to taste it. When I do my rums, there will be no charcoal filtering. I want you to be able to taste that grass that that's been fermenting and it goes into the pot still, and you taste everything.
I'm excited for the rums. You gonna do the molasses and
Oh
and the
no,
cane?
no
All
molasses. It's gonna be fresh sugarcane rum.
Yeah, we love those. Yeah,
Rum
That is the
agricole.
Cuban way.
Rum agricole.
We've had a lot of rums on the show. My two favorite rums that I've tasted on this show, or pretty much tasted in general, are first off Atlantico. Do you know those
that's
guys?
delicious, yeah.
That's a very tasty rum, I gotta say. And also Diplomatico out of
That's nice,
Argentina
too.
are exceptionally well made rums.
I'm old school. Barbancourt.
Oh, Barbancourt? Well, it's good stuff.
15-year-old
absolutely,
Barbancourt is very nice.
The Haiti, right?
Yeah, it's a Haitian rum. But
Yeah.
there's also a fabulous rum out of Guyana called El Dorado. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I'm
or
not familiar with that one.
You got
I
to
love
check
it.
that out if you haven't tasted
I know
it. They have a-
Guyana is definitely a good producer.
Yeah, it's they have a 15-year-old and a 21-year-old, and
Sounds like George.
Anyway, I was gonna say I was about to say I
We
had the
cut the
pleasure
jokes when
of
you came
yeah
in,
no
by
it's
the
very
way.
funny
Yeah.
I was about to say I had the pleasure of having
Okay,
a
the straight man's here.
21-year-old last night, but
Oh, yeah, you can say that.
I did, but in fact it was just rum.
Oh, okay. that's quite all right, my friend. No, fantastic. So talk to me a little bit about, we talked about the distillery and your wonderful still. Can people come and check it out and see what's going on? Do you invite people to come down and to check the whole scene out, or what's going on?
Yep, we're the distillery is opened pretty much by appointment. I mean, what people have to remember is that it's a working distillery and a working
here.
factory. Exactly. We're schlepping around bags of wheat, of grain.
Right.
What do you get,
there's
train
water.
loads of grain?
Yeah, we bring it in by the no,
Really?
we no. that's-
Trucks?
Trains of grain fall
we
specifically from the
probably
plane.
bring in, we probably bring in a couple of 1,000 pounds of grain at a time.
They deliver it on a pallet and a forklift, right?
Right. Yeah, it comes on a truck basically.
Yeah.
It comes on a truck. But it is a working distillery.
Absolutely.
But we want people to come and check the place out. I mean,
Right.
one of our greatest assets, quite frankly, is the distillery. Is the distillery itself.
I heard it's beautiful.
It is. It's absolutely gorgeous. And people can give us a call anytime, and we'd be happy to have them over, set up a time, and give them a tour of the place.
How
and
was
let
the
'em-
city getting this whole thing started? Were they good about it, bad about it? I know Doral is kind of a new city. It's only a couple of years
Well,
old.
the
But I heard it's a real easy place to work anything out.
Doral.
How's your Spanish?
The mayor's good, too.
No, the mayor's an absolute disaster, but that's another story in and of itself. In fact, I did think, better be careful. But anyway, the distillery is actually not located in Doral.
Oh,
it's
good.
just
Oh,
just
that's good.
outside of Doral, which made it worse, to be honest with you.
Oh, really? Because it's
So-
unincorporated
It's
Miami.
unincorporated Miami-Dade. I think this is actually the first distillery that is in unincorporated Miami-Dade, and the permitting process and the build-out process and dealing with all the various disciplines like fire, electrical, and those guys bringing it up to
Well,
code.
thank God nobody's corrupt in Miami.
Extremely, really difficult. Right?
Yeah,
Thank God for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what would you do?
Yeah. if we had maybe a couple of $100,000 more, we might have opened up 6 months earlier.
Yeah. So you guys are out there. You're distributed. You're being sold in Total Wine. Everybody can go to Total Wine and find these wonderful Alchemist whiskeys.
Reasonably priced.
Very reasonably priced. $30.
$30,
Yeah,
$29.99.
I
on
mean,
the
you
shelf.
can't get anything good for under $30.
We've paired up with
Believe
a great
me, I tried.
We've paired up with a great distributor in Florida, Brown Distributing Company. I'm
Mhm.
sure you know them.
Sure.
They sell a lot of great craft beers, quality beers, and
Absolutely.
they sell into the kinds of places that we want to be into. You know,
Great.
they're
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good team, good pairing.
And so on premise, off premise, people can go in. Do you ever do any promotions out on the? Where can people come visit and stuff? I mean, where would find you like that you've been before?
Well, we do promotions in a lot of different places. In
Yeah.
fact, when we put the brand into Total Beverage, we've been literally in every one of their stores, doing promotions, demos.
Total Wine.
Total Wine.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Total
Is there a bar you could find us?
Yeah, well, we're in the Abbey Brewing Company on my.
Oh, we love the Abbey.
Yeah, we love the Abbey too.
Dio, grab the beer.
Yeah, we're in the Abbey. We're at, I believe we're in the Yardbird, as a matter of fact, right now.
right.
And our on-premise list is growing.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, but the Abbey's a real great supporter of
You
the
should
brand.
check out Tab 42. Paige, she
Yeah.
was just on the show. She loves whiskey.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna stop by.
All right, so what we want to do is I got this beer that my buddy made. Okay, and he happens to be a professional brewer. You ever hear of Holy Mackerel?
Okay.
You ever hear of Florida Beer Company?
Yeah.
He's the brewer. So basically, he made this beer. He let me have it. He said, as long as you don't say the name, FF stands for French farmhouse. Okay, so we're just gonna say that's what it's called. But it's a very well attenuated, pale beer with a lot of spices, almost similar to what we have here. So there's rosemary, rose hips, those kinds of sagey type of things. So I want you to take it. Let's take it, pop it open, taste a little, guys. All right, let's do it 'cause we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Yeah, we got about 10 minutes. We're good. And we'll tape it. We'll pop it. We'll taste a little, and then I want you to think. Use your noggin. All right. And from what we have here, whether it's that, whether it's this, it doesn't matter. Make me a drink that's going to taste good. This is the inner mixologist inside of you. Okay. And I really think it'll be exciting. So first, what we're going to do is we'll take it and we'll pop it open, and then we'll taste the beer. Okay.
Just to jump
go
in
ahead.
for one sec, just our next demo, by the way, is a Total Wines in, I believe, Boca. It's this Saturday.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I want to say from 6 to 8. Right. So if you want to come on out and meet DJ and try the whiskeys, please come by. Again, Total
that's
Wine
great.
in Boca.
So DJ, you'll be there talking about it all on your own.
I'm everywhere.
Just give us the little cups, man. just give me a whole stack of little cups. We got DJ over here. We got Dio over here, and he's flustering. Just give me a whole stack of cups because we want to try the beer. We're going to talk a little bit about the beer itself. It looks like he got a little ahead of himself there. He's well attenuated. Oh, so we'll pour a little beer. We'll taste that, and then I want DJ to try it out. See, I'm putting you on the spot here, man. You thought this was going to be easy. You thought I was going to just be throwing you freaking softballs around. It ain't happening, my friend.
Wow,
all
look at the
right,
color
so
of that
beautiful.
stuff.
He's drunk
All right,
now. We'll
here
do
we
just
go.
fine.
Beautiful. Now,
George, easy on that. He's got to make drinks with it.
you guys ever tried any Holy Mackerel?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay,
Yeah.
so this is Bob. This is his beer.
Okay.
And he sold Holy Mackerel, and now he works for...
Is that right?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, he sold Holy Mackerel, and he works now for the Florida Beer Company. So, and this is one of the beers that he's making. So
I'll wait for the next drink. He's a pro.
we just got to taste what it tastes like so that DJ can figure out what he wants to mix with it. So we're going to talk a little bit about Jason. Give me what you think about this beer.
Delicious. It's
okay.
It's got a
That's
unique
what I love about
flavor.
Jason. Jason, what do you think of this beer? Delicious.
It's got a unique flavor. I mean, it's kind of light. It's definitely got some spices in there.
All right, so it's a little cloudy. It's a very interesting color, though. I think it's like almost like I wouldn't say that's copper, but maybe a dirty penny.
Almost a little bit of sour.
Dirty penny.
Right?
Dirty penny, money
Sure,
penny,
maybe.
right? A little bit of that. I don't know. It's kind of like an orange haze. It almost looks like a
foggy amber.
A foggy amber, or that's a color of an Orval, almost like a dirty orange like that.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what I love about brewers also is
What?
I'm trying to work with some of these brewers down here because we're
Right.
gonna try to throw some of their beers into my still.
Well, to get you with Bob real easily. I mean, he would love to work with you. I'll definitely reach out to him. For
Let's
sure.
do it. You know, I want to try a bunch of unique things. Basically,
What do they call that? Like the brandy would be wine.
Yeah,
what do they call beer?
Beer.
Barley wine?
No,
what
not
do
a
you
barley wine.
What do they call?
It's a beer brandy.
Distilled
basically.
beer.
Distilled beer is whiskey.
Yeah.
Or scotch.
Well,
That's what
there
Scotch
is a beer brandy.
There is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brandy's mostly made out of grapes, distilled, wine, but Scotch is basically distilled beer.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Yeah,
I was
that's
just
what they do. They make a very peaty beer and then they distill it. Anyway, so we got a
nice
very
beer.
nice smell.
Yeah,
right.
I'm
It's
getting
like
some-
I thought that you could work with this with your whiskey, right? That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah, you could definitely work with it, but you guys have nothing to work with.
What did you use to make these drinks?
Come on, this is careful planning, man.
All right. Well, that's pretty dry in the finish, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is dry.
Yeah.
I thought maybe we could work with it, but
Kind of coffee. I'm getting coffee notes up front and kind
Are
of
ya?
dry in the finish. Are you getting that or no?
it's very well attenuated. That's
It's
what I
got
mean by
some
that
kind of
saison
spice in there
aspect.
for some-
Well, there's a rose hips and that type of thing.
It's not bad though.
I think it's delicious.
Yeah.
It's very good.
You know, the best
got
way to drink the
good
whiskey with this
mouthfeel.
is just to pour a shot and throw it back. Do a whiskey shot.
Irish
and a beer-
car bomb.
a
Well, I
whiskey shot and a
tried.
beer chaser.
I thought
I think
maybe
that's
you
the
could throw
best
a
way
little
to do it.
grenadine and a little bit of this and
You
that.
want to
but-
try something?
No.
Okay, you don't want to try. All right, I ain't gonna put you on the spot. I thought you might want to get funky with it.
Next
you,
time,
he's DJ Noel.
I'll come with the full bar, then I'll make you something special.
All right, no,
George,
you've
you
already
can do
made
a
us two
Irish
very
car
special
bomb.
drinks.
I'm glad you like
All right, that was certainly never a question. I just, me, I just like to throw stuff out and see what sticks. Sometimes it doesn't. It's funny because you was talking about the whole DJ Noel thing, and then you thought you're like DJ Noel. I don't even know who it is, but George knew who he was.
The first time I actually got a telephone call from him, it was a message. It says, DJ Noel is calling for you. And I thought, damn, I hit the big time. DJ Noel's calling me.
So how did you two, if you don't mind me asking, a little bit, how you guys kind of, because you were looking for somebody as a distiller, and you wanted to open a distiller, and you were looking for somebody, that type of thing?
Well, it's a long and detailed story, quite honestly. But the bottom line is that our backgrounds go really well together.
Great.
I have strong industry experience. I've been in the business for a long time, selling wine, beer, and spirits. And
you thought this is the dude.
This is
a good. This
is a good pairing. This is a
That's
good
great.
pairing, I think. And DJ prepares great stuff to drink, and I try and go out and
That's fantastic. I love it.
Sell boxes.
That's fantastic. Sell boxes. I hear you, brother. So, going forward, what are we looking for in the future as far as aspirations? We're looking to increase our overall on-premise accounts and maybe get out there, do some demos. Talk to me, brothers.
We want to build this brand, and we want to build it right. So
Yeah.
that's why we came out with these whiskeys, because we want to build our base stuff, let everybody taste what real alcohol tastes like.
Yes.
And then we'll come out with the specialty flavors. But we want to come out with the rum the right way, the whiskey the right way. We're gonna do seasonal products, like when peaches are in season, we'll do a peach brandy.
Beauty.
Never mango.
No, never mango. We're trying to do this farmer's market style, basically.
That's great. That's fantastic. And that's the thing, I know the guys down at the Schnebley, the winery, the Miami Brewing Company, and Schnebley Wines. They got started because they had a ton of produce.
Right.
And they've been on the show a bunch of times. And, they basically took those what they had and they made wine out of it. So, taking some great farmer stuff, some things, and really getting that Florida touch. It'll just, and there's no distillers down here. I know that they have a distilling license, those guys. I don't think they're planning on distilling anytime soon. So
There actually is one other distillery in Miami.
Oh, there is one? I didn't know.
Can't remember the name.
This
Don't even mention it then.
No. He's a really nice guy, actually.
Oh,
His name,
okay.
it's Distillery of Caneca, and he
Really?
Yeah, Distillery of
You ever hear
Caneca.
that?
Give him a little plug.
Yeah, Matt Malone.
Matt Malone's his name.
making,
He's a great guy.
He's making a good rum down
He's
there.
making a
Is he
really
really?
good rum.
Yeah, he's
called
a
Miami
really, really good guy.
Great. We'd love to talk to him.
Miami Club
free
rum.
booze. Yeah.
Anytime.
If you get him on the show, though, we expect a plug from him.
Absolutely. No,
Matt's a great guy, though.
Great, I'm sure he is. Yeah, I'm so happy that distilleries are popping up. I was talking to DJ before you got here about it's really a mystery. You guys are the first ones that I've had on that are actual distillers that I could brought in. I grilled them with a ton of questions, to really get to the bottom of all the things, because that's the way I am. I have like little gaps between my spiel, and I'm been in sales about 25 years too. So I got spiel like you don't believe. You know how it is. You know what I mean? But there's actual little gaps in there that I can't connect the dots, and I ask questions when I got somebody I can just boom, I drilled you right, and you answered a bunch of really good questions for me because I've been asked. I've been
But you knew a lot of the answers already.
Well, the thing is that I'm trying to put all the picture in my mind, and there's very interesting, so I can't thank you guys enough for coming on, and what a wonderful product. The Alchemist distilleries down in Miami, down in just outside of the city of Doral, and you can definitely get down and see these guys. They have a wonderful, wonderful project going down there, and please, you can make an appointment. Is there somewhere like a website or Facebook or?
You can go on to alchemistdistillery.com, and you can see all of our equipment and the distillery there.
Should we like the Facebook page or? Is there a Twitter feed?
Yeah,
Tell me what it is.
Go to Alchemist Distillery on the Facebook page. Everything. I got Twitter.
What's your Twitter handle?
Alchemist Distillery.
Okay, that's cool. Well, a lot of people have different stuff, so I asked you to put it all out there. That's great. I'm glad, and I'm also glad that you were able to get all that stuff. It's a great name. It's a great concept. I love it. Right off the bat, it makes me think, wow, that's great because turning water into wine, turning booze into basically you're turning grain and water into booze, which is money, which is gold. You really are an alchemist.
That's right. It's earth, fire, water, copper, repeat.
There you go, man, and it's absolutely fantastic, and I couldn't be more pleased to have you guys in. As we sit here and drink all these wonderful beverages, distilled spirits and whatnot, we like to be safe. Please do not drink and drive. Do not overconsume. Do not drink under 21. If you're pregnant, wait the 9 months. The kid will thank you. And we definitely want you to be safe, so you can come back and listen every Thursday at 6 o'clock on SoFlo Radio and ByTheGlassShow.com, where we have the most wonderful beverage culture. We come to you every Thursday with wonderful, new, interesting, innovative, educational, and entertaining facts. You can always go to ByTheGlassShow.com. I have 250 shows at least. Everything from wine, beer, spirits. We got all the best people. They come to us, so we can come to you. So definitely, please tune in and enjoy. And it's been an absolute pleasure to have you guys. So we're going to find you at Boca Raton at the Total Wine off of Palmetto and Military. What was the date again?
It's this Saturday.
Great.
I believe it's 6 to 8.
So if I walk in and I see DJ and I'm tasting a little bit of the neutral spirit, but will you mix up a drink for me to let you do that?
That's what I do, man.
So you just do it right there. You're like bang bang boom. I might just stop.
Come in for a cocktail.
I think I might just stop by and harass you a little bit.
There you go.
You know, that 5 o'clock hour, we're gonna come in. Okay, definitely everybody go see him. Love you. Have a good night. Thank you for listening to By the Glass.
Thank you.
You're listening to SoFloRadio.com.